Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never, ever alone. Here on Invisible Condition, we get it, okay? I get it, okay? I'm 7 brain surgeries in. I get it. Sometimes they can be rough days, right? Everybody has rough days, right? The other thing you got to remember, though, is there's always hope, always hope. So, my message to you out there, if you have lost your hope, or if today is one of those days that you don't know where your hope went, man, I want to talk to you. So, if you're having trouble finding that hope, shoot me an email right here and just put hope in the subject line, because nobody should be without hope. Hope is awesome. And if you've lost it, you're kind of almost dead in the water. So we gotta help you. So, all right, that is good there. Now, I want to introduce you to our guest, which you might recognize. I don't know if you've been, like, by the way, if you've been around a long time, if you've been watching since the beginning, like we launched April 4th of 2023, right? We've been on the air almost 3 years now. So wherever you're watching, thank you for being here. And if you were watching when this gentleman's original episode aired, then I love you even more, and you'll recognize him. So his name's Mike Weiner, and he actually was on in season 2. His first show aired January 16th of 2024. Season 2, episode 31. So if you are one that actually saw that, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a round of applause, because you're awesome. So, all right, Mike, he's awesome. I love Mike. He is the CEO of NRG, Network Referral Group. Network Referral Group, NRG, is a company that he started in 2001. And he lives in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and he started this group in person, kind of meeting in different areas of the Baltimore DMV area, and had, I don't know, 5 or 6 groups that were thriving, and he was networking, and it was awesome. And then COVID hit, and he said, okay, well, I either quit or I pivot. And he pivoted, and he went on to Zoom, and he went online. He went to Zoom. It was the best thing he ever did, because as of 2020, he doesn't just have 5 or 6 in-person groups. He's got over 30 that meet on Zoom every single week. So he's rocking it. And so, not to mention that he does have an invisible condition. He was diagnosed with adult-onset type 2 diabetes, which he is also rocking it with that, because he has handled it so well. And I remember when we talked a couple of years ago, we talked about it a little bit. So we'll touch on it again today, get some updates and whatnot. But man, Mike has built a career around connection, referrals, and the power of positive energy while navigating the crazy highs and lows of type 1 diabetes. He's a rock star. I can't wait for you to meet him again. All right, we'll take that off right there. I gotta put something back on the screen so we know who we are. There we are. There's Jeff. All right, here we go. Let's bring Mike on and hit the ground running here. There's the man, Mike. Thank you for being here, man. It's so good to have you back.
Hey, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me. Can't believe it's been over 2 years, but appreciate you having me back. And I got all kinds of updates on the invisible condition that I have, type 2 diabetes.
Bring it on, man. Yeah, we're going to dive into that in just a second. I do have one question that since you've been on the show, since you were on the first time, you didn't get this question. I've started asking the same question at the beginning of every episode, and I'm going to ask you right now. There's no wrong answer. They're always awesome. On the days that are a little bit rough, because I know type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, all of it, like all invisible conditions have their rough days, right? On those days that aren't awesome, how do you still maintain hope?
Great question. I have so many members that are on and guests. And what I find that happens with me, Jeff, and I don't talk about it, I get really edgy, and that's when my blood sugar is high. And if you see me, I'm charismatic and energetic, but when you see me go a little bit over the top, usually the sugar's a little bit off. The way I handle it, I know I've been dealing with it now for 26 years, as long as I've had NRG. So when I go like that, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I tend to drink a lot of water, make sure I work out that night. We since I was single when we did the last show, I'm now married 131 days. I count on the other side, but I drink water. I work on getting the sugar down. I've learned what foods are good for me.
Yeah.
Try to work out. I tell you what, the treadmill is good. Weights are better because the weights give me that endorphin kick. And I've learned not to take insulin before I work out, because I go to work out, sometimes my sugar drops 50, 100 or more points. So I don't want to go into low blood sugar. It's a get balance.
Yeah.
And I'm really low. If you're on or Lori, I'm like, I got to get some juice. I've learned how to up it, and I've learned how to down it. It's not a daily battle. It's an hourly battle.
Yeah.
Today it's been a little bit off, but we got a new member. Sometimes I use it to my advantage. I go into it and I'm like, all right, I'm a little wound up. Well, I can use that to my advantage to get people excited. So I've learned kind of how to finesse it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I mean, over 26 years, you've probably, I would hope that you've got some ways to adapt and, adapt or die, right? That's I don't remember what movie that was, but it was like, adapt or die, what are you going to do? Launch and adjust, right? So, yeah, man. So we're going to dive into NRG and all things network referral group here in a minute, but just so that people understand, like, I know that diabetes is ridiculously common and getting more common by the day. Kind of like there's a lot of conditions out there that are really common, but that doesn't mean they're not misunderstood, right? Like when some people think of diabetes, they're like, oh, this is the picture I get of somebody that's got diabetes, right? Of lifestyle or different things, What do you like? Do you ever get that like from the world? Like, do you get like people find out they're like, oh, or anything? Like, do you get misconceptions thrown at you a lot, or what?
Yeah, there's some people that overreact. They're going to look at everything you eat. Hey, you shouldn't be eating that because you're diabetic. And I'm like, well, you know what? If we're out to dinner and it's chocolate or a dessert, it's not like I do it every day. So right. you can't cut everything out. You got to live. You got to enjoy yourself. Yeah. After networking and loving my new wife, Tanya, eating I've always liked eating. And that's part of the challenge. I am an emotional eater. I'll eat when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when my Ravens didn't make the Super Bowl, when my Ravens didn't even make the playoffs. So,
yeah,
I eat emotionally. It's part of the problem.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. You know what? And I do that too. I've found that I do that too. And it's more when I'm happy. You just closed the sale, you just bought the new car, you just whatever, moved into the new house. Like I love to, it's like, all right, let's go out to dinner, dinner's on me, baby. Let's go, And so, but you got to be careful there too. You can't like go crazy,
Right.
So, no, I get it. So how is Tanya adjusting to all that? I mean, you guys haven't known each other forever, right? Like, was it kind of an adjustment in the house, or was it like?
Yeah, I'll give you a quick timeline. Tanya and I met right during COVID.
Yeah.
And we became friends. And then eventually when we were both open, she had been married. I was in a relationship for a while, ended that December of 2023, started dating. I remember our first date. And it's just the friendship blossomed in this loving relationship. So met her at 55, got married 61, October 18th of last year. She is like the younger female version of me, and I'm the older, sophisticated, debonair version of her. Jeff, we just click. I have never clicked with a woman like this. And
Awesome.
the love I have for her, the first thing I do in the morning, I roll over, give her a kiss, give her a hug, and I thank God that she's in my life. She is also NRG's virtual assistant. As you know, you've met her several times on Zoom. She's amazing. And the diabetes, she really is, she's phenomenal. She cooks for me. We've studied what foods are good. We've learned like leafy greens and blueberries and, you know, the antioxidants.
Yeah.
Those type of foods are good. I did really well when she first moved in. I've kind of gotten off that a little bit, but on a good note, the weight's come down, A1C's coming down, and my cardiologist, for the first time ever, I've had 2 heart attacks. I had triple bypass open heart in 2020, and I'll tell you about that with NRG. But my cardiologist said my heart, for the first time ever, is normal. It's a normal heart. It's not. I don't have any issues. It was minor issues. So I've made, in the last 2 years, I've made headway. There's still more work to be done, but I'm moving in the right direction. Heart's good. I'm happy mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Tanya keeps me happy. She's my person. I learned that from her. Weight's got to come down a little bit more. When your weight comes down, your A1C comes down.
Yep. Your
blood sugar comes down. And the weights, you know, I flush a lot of water during the day, go to the bathroom a lot. But, you know, anyone who knows me knows what's going on. So, you know, Tanya's adapted to it very well, and she's been a phenomenal resource to help me out.
It's awesome. I love that. I love hearing that because it's so important. Like Catherine, of course, you know, you know Catherine, you kind of know our story a little bit, you know. I mean, Catherine and I met when we were in 7th grade, you know, when we were like 12 or 13 years old, and she you know, we knew each other for 10 years, all through junior high and high school and college and stuff before we ever got married at 22 years old. But that was almost 20. This June will be 27 years ago that was.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And you know what? She didn't know anything about any of this for the first 14 years. We were like, until we were married, until summer of, it was August of 13 that the surgery started to like pile up, you know. And so we were married for a good 14 years before she ever had to deal with any of this, right? So she kind of had a surprise too, you know, like, holy crap, emergency abdominal surgery. 6 months later, holy crap, 2 emergency brain surgeries, you know, and it just kept going. And so, yes, I'm going to just say this for all of you out there that are married. If you've not heard this before, you're going to now. We all married up. Us guys, us men, we all married up. Okay.
Amen.
And if you don't realize it, you don't deserve her. I'm just going to say that.
I love that.
And all the women out there said, amen. Because we are a mess, honestly. So,
I agree with you, Jeff. I totally agree.
So thank you, Catherine, for loving me for so long and not giving up on me. So yeah, man. So, you know, the NRG thing, it's funny because I just went to another, don't hate me, Mike, but I went to another online networking group this morning.
Okay.
Highly recommended to me by Catherine, and she loved it. She got a lot out of it, but I went to it, and like most that I have gone to over the last, 2, 3, 5, 15, 10, whatever years, it was such a letdown. It was such a disappointment. There was like 80 people on the call, and the only thing that we did was go around and introduce ourselves and give it like a 30-second, hey, this is me, this is what I do. Next, this is me, this is what I do. Next. But there was no chance to collaborate. There was no chance to, okay, well, hey, I know a person that you should call because it might help your business. Oh, no, okay, cool. What's their name and number? None of that stuff. I mean, if you really want to collaborate on a networking call, which is what you're there to do, I thought, there's no time for that. There was no time for that. So I left that call after about 45 minutes just going, well, I'm never going to get that time back,
Right.
So for those of you out there that are business owners, and I know there's probably tens of thousands of business owners in the people that are watching right now. So pay attention, because Mike has a niche that you're going to want to be a part of. So this QR code, right wherever it is, I can't point to it, in the corner of the screen there. You're going to want to scan that and go to the NRG website. It's nrg.online. And then there's a ton of stuff there. There's even more when you're a member. When you become a member, there's a ton more stuff that you can take advantage of. But go there and check it out. You will not be disappointed. And I'm going to let Mike talk about it a little bit, because he does a better job. But when people come to an NRG call, like address that a little bit. Like people that have come to all these other networking groups that are disappointing, why is NRG different than all the rest?
Love the question, Jeff. So when you come to an NRG meeting, you're going to get 3 referrals on the spot, a name and a number, but you're not going to call them. You call them, you get voicemail, I call it voicemail. I will do the 3-way intro and ask the other person to jump on Zoom with you. Jeff, we had a guest this morning.
Yeah.
We gave him the 3 names, a lady, Lori, who's my director of networking, who brought you to NRG a few short years ago. She and I collaborated. We came up with almost 20 names. We gave 3. And I told the guest, I said, you did a great job on PINBall, and we'll explain that in a minute.
Yes.
We gave her 3. I kicked everyone off. She and I talked. She goes, I'm in. She goes, I've never seen anything like this. And she came in through a returning NRG member who just came back 2 weeks ago.
Awesome.
So, and they're in other networking groups, but we got a niche. You're right. You're going to get referrals. You're going to get 30 as soon as you sign up with me. 30.
And, that is insane. And you said something that you just kind of glossed over there, but it's important. I have over the last 2+ years that I've been part of NRG, I have heard you say this more times than I can count. They came back. They came back to NRG.
They're coming back
because if they leave, I'm not saying they leave because they don't like NRG. Maybe it's the season of life or whatever. They can't make the meetings because of their schedule or whatever, but they come back eventually. They always come back eventually. Because
we've had like 6 of them come back in the last 60 days.
Right.
One of them, she was just doing business in one state. Now she's nationwide. So she's like, I need to get a hold of Mike. And we've stayed friends. You know what, Jeff? When people leave, I don't take it personally.
No.
There may be a divorce. It may be a job change. It may be starting their own company. It may be an invisible disease. Right. It could be anything. But I have open arms, like the Journey song. I have open arms when they come back, and they're coming back in droves. Because you know what? I think some people, they go to sleep at night and they're like, oh, my God, NRG. It's still with them. It's a movement. It's a culture. It's a family. And it's not dysfunctional, as Elena Schwartz always says. It's a functional family. I'm Papa Bear. Lori is Mama Bear. Jeff is always there. This guy, Jeff Pearson, if you guys have not met him, he is phenomenal. We have created a great business relationship, partnership. Yep. It's coming in from NRG Studios. It's just amazing. So appreciate you, Jeff. Love you, brother. You're amazing as well. And you and I have created a synergy that can't be stopped. It's awesome. And people they are coming back in droves.
I love it, man. And we're gonna dive into some more of that in just a minute. I'm gonna appease the sponsors here for a second, but I'll bring you back here in just a second, Mike. But yeah, I can't wait to dive into more, because you all need to know more about this because it's awesome, and you're not going to be sorry. And I promise you, if you come to a meeting to check it out, you will be blown away. So we're going to talk more about that in a second, Mike. We'll see you in just a minute. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right. Holy smokes. All right. This is awesome. Now I got to talk to you about a company that I have, those companies that you just kind of stumble on, like I didn't mean to learn about this company. I just literally, it was a couple that was on the show that was telling me about it. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. I'll check it out. Holy cow, guys. You know, if you've been watching the show for any length of time, that you know that I'm always looking for simple, natural ways to support my health without doing anything crazy or extreme, right? I'm not into the extreme stuff. I found this company called Healthy Home, and they've got some amazing, really thoughtful wellness resources, stuff that supports your body's ability to do what it already wants to do, that it already knows how to do. Honestly, your body's amazing. It already knows what to do. You just sometimes have to get a little help. So whether that's to repair something that's going on, or balance hormones, or improve circulation, or skin issues, or joint pain, or that those are all things that this can help. I've been digging into a little bit and learning how it works, and the more I do, the more it makes sense. Nothing crazy, just supporting what your body already knows what to do and wants to do to help you heal and stay healthy. If you're even just a little bit curious, go to this website, or even better, call this number. And a very nice woman will pick up the phone and she will answer any question that you have. And then you can go to the website and go crazy and check out all the stuff that they have to offer, because it's amazing. So, all right, let's get back to Mike here and NRG, because this is a big deal here. All right. Oh, what just happened to my something just happened to something on my screen. That was awesome. Okay, welcome to live TV, everybody. When the glitch in the computer doesn't warn you it's coming. So, all right, we were talking about, what were we talking about? We're talking about that NRG. So it's different than any other networking group. Like most networking groups that I've been to, here's how it usually goes. If it's, whether it's in person or online, I don't care what it is. It's almost always this kind of format. You show up, you might get a few minutes at the beginning to network, or chat with other people, or put little notes in the Zoom and stuff like that. But then the host comes on and says, okay, for the next 20 minutes, you're going to listen to this one person talk about their business. Great. Okay, fine. Let's do it. So then you get done. They get done talking about their business. And then you think, okay, cool. And me, I'm a networker. I'm a lifelong connector. I always have been. Even when I was a kid, I subscribed to the 10-10 rule. If I've been within 10 feet of you for more than 10 seconds, we're going to talk. I'm going to meet you. We're going to be introduced. And so I've always been that way. And so when I don't get to talk to other people, it kind of irks me a little bit. I'm like, starts to get me itchy in my seat. I'm like, come on, when are we going to get to meet people? And then finally at the last 10 or 15 minutes of the call, maybe they'll do some open networking and stuff. And you get to put your info in the chat maybe, or you get to, and some of those in-person networking groups, by then people are so ready to get out of there that they scatter when like roaches when the lights come on, and everybody's just gone. And I look around and I go, where did everybody go? I thought we got to network now. That's been my experience more times than not in networking groups, whether it's online or in person. So given that, and that's probably a lot of people's networking experience. So given that, how does NRG work and why is it different?
So, Jeff, it's different because of the mindset. It's a culture. It's a family. I welcome everybody. When you come onto my Zoom and you join, you're part of the family. Mm-hmm. It's interactive. There's no dead time. You're not going to be bored or falling asleep. And I used to go to in-person things, and you're right, they do scatter. I was laughing because you're so on spot with that. You're so on track with that. With ours, we go around the room. Everybody introduces themselves. We keep it short. We then go around to this thing called PINBall. And that's the magic. It's like a pinball machine. Power partners, industries, named accounts. Power partners are industries that refer you to your end client. Industries you last sold. Industries you haven't done a lot with that you want energy to help you out with. And then named accounts. Those are specific companies. So everybody's getting referrals. Lori says it all the time, and you say it, we're the only organization where people go, I've got enough. First, there's organizations, they complain that there's nothing. Then they come here and it's too much. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
We go around and then we stop at the new person. At the end, everybody pours their heart out for that new person. They feel love. They feel energy.
Mm-hmm.
They feel law of attraction. I talk about attitude of gratitude. I talk about vibration. If you're in business and you're not where you need to be, you need to raise your vibration. You need to raise your energy. And my voice is a little bit off. Jeff turned me on to, what was the name of the tea?
It's Catherine's idea. She found this tea called Throat Coat. It's awesome. By the way,
I'm not being
paid to say that or anything.
But don't like tea. Jeff Pearson is the only one ever to recommend a tea, and Mike Weiner likes it. Put a little bit of honey in it, but it's good. Yes. It's good. I've had 3 tea. I never drink tea, but so people, the new people, they get a sense of belonging. Jeff, people want to belong to something. They're dying. They're craving. You look at the news, it's all negative. The weather, they're never right. They get paid 6 figures. I know in here, Maryland, the joke is 1 to 78 inches of snow. They never know. If it's there's 3 systems now. Who cares? One could go up, one could go out to shore. We're supposed to have a blizzard last week. We got 3 inches. It's just. So I watch weather and sports, but that's it. I'm 61 years old. The news is the same decade after decade. Carjacking, shootings, COVID. Who cares? My organization, we insulate everybody. It's a safe haven. It's positive. And Jeff, we haven't even talked about the university. We just added for the members of NRG University, which has been my vision for years. And it's in the beginning. There's 9 videos. Imagine springtime, my goal is to triple, end of the year have 100. So you come out of college or you're a seasoned professional, you don't know how to close, you don't know how to use AI, social media, how do you do a one-on-one on a Zoom? All that will be there in the university. And then we've got the extravaganza coming up on Friday, which is next Friday, March 6th.
Right. So this is, this organization is doing things so different that I go to these other groups because good friends, like people that I love and that I respect, invite me, and I don't want to be rude, right? I'm like, okay, I'll come because you invited me, because I value you and our relationships. I will come. But almost every time, probably, I would say 98% of the time, I'm sorely disappointed when I get out of there and I go, God, I'm never going to get that time back. It's gone forever. And when I come to an NRG, this is also the only networking group, by the way. You didn't mention this, but I'm going to, because I've started to experience this recently. It's the only networking group that people come to and go, you know what? I'm good, man. I don't need any referrals because I've been coming to meetings earlier in the week and I've got enough. Like I've already got 8 referrals that I haven't even called yet that I've gotten on these last couple calls. Thank you, but I am good. Move on to people who need more referrals and give it to them and give them the time, So that is something that is extremely rare in any other networking group, any other organization. I've never heard that ever at other groups. Everybody's clamoring for referrals. So that's unique. So yeah. And I'm not the only one that says it. You've heard it from how many people? I mean, this week alone, half a dozen people, I am good, I don't need anything. So it's pretty cool. So I know there's business owners out there. Come on. You know who you are. You're business owners. I don't care if you're online or brick and mortar or a combination of both. Referrals are king. You cannot have enough referrals. So scan this QR code and go to the website. And Mike is gonna ask you where you heard about it, and then you just say invisible condition. just say, I heard about it on that TV show. I heard about it in Invisible Condition. Jeff told me about it or whatever. Just, and then he will get you to a meeting and you will not be sorry, man. It's pretty cool. So, so what else, man? What like, I know that over the last, 2 years that I've been part of it, you have changed it a lot, honestly. Like when I first jumped on, through Lori, who is amazing in her own right. By the way, Lori Landine is her name. And if you've been watching for a while, you recognize that name too, because she's been on the show 3 times. So if you haven't seen an episode of hers recently, you should go back in the archives and go find one of her episodes and reintroduce you to her, because she's incredible. What's changed? Like, what are you doing now that you didn't do 2 years, 5 years ago? Like, you started in 2020, right? And you said, I'm going to do my vision, right? How's that progressed?
You know what? Since we went to Zoom, law of attraction has been forefront. I studied it. I've been studying it with Raphael here probably 15 years now. I didn't implement it. And then when we went to Zoom, I was like, what's my mission? I want to impact people. I don't want to just, when I pass away, I don't want them to say there was someone who sat around and watched TV. I want them to say this was a networker. This was a connector. This was someone who made a difference. And Jeff, there's things we're working on right now. I can't even, I'll have to come back in 2 more years or a year. There's 2 projects Lori and I are working on that are massive, that could affect the whole world. I don't mean to be dramatic, but we're putting things in place to get there. But law of attraction definitely has kicked in. I think the community, the family, we now have a chief love officer, Dr. Roz. We have a chief inspiration officer, Leanne Cannon. What organizations have that? Chief love, chief inspiration, and there'll be more. Jeff, you're a lifetime member. We haven't even talked about that. The extravaganza March 6th coming up. We're going to have hundreds of people. If you're watching this today or tomorrow over the weekend, you should come to the extravaganza. Reach out.
And there's 2 of them we do 2 during the year, right? So this one was
we do a spring extravaganza in March, and I make sure it doesn't go during Passover or Easter. I'm Jewish, Tanya's Christian. We had a Christmas tree and a Hanukkah bush. She's turned the Hanukkah bush into a holiday bush. We now have it dressed for St. Patty's Day. It's all green. It's hilarious. So we merged that. But I think the community feeling here, Jeff, I'm so proud of the members. We have evolved. When we used to meet live, honestly, it's even better by Zoom. I'm not driving all around the state, and if someone doesn't show up as a guest, okay, they'll get on the next one. Other than that, I drove 50 miles to get, to have no shows. So that's kind of this community feel, the family feel. We're all on one team. We're on the NRG team. We're all together. You and I, Jeff, have a brotherhood that can't be stopped. And we're going to continue to grow. This university is going to blow up, and some other things Lori and I are working on are going to be. It's going to be in every household in America, and we've also gone international. We've gone into Spain and Brazil. I mean, I used to be in Columbia, Maryland. Who would have thought I'd be in Colorado with Jeff?
Right,
we're international. So that going international has blown my mind, Jeff.
I think one of the people that I brought to a call recently was from Belize. So that'd be another country if she ends up jumping on board.
You brought pastor. You brought a pastor to me that will be joining, and everyone loves him, and I love him too. He's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool, and that's how we roll, man. It's really, really, really cool. And so if there's, I will say, COVID was a nightmare. I don't care where you were in the country. I don't care what you believe about what happened or what didn't happen or what should have happened or whatever. Like I think we can all agree that we're going to look back 100 years from now and go, what in the world were we thinking with some of the stuff that came out of there? So, but one of the good things that came out was that everybody was forced to get familiar with online everything. There was no more in person for a while. So if you wanted to do business, if you wanted to do, church, if you wanted to do anything, you had to have a presence online. And so that is one thing that I will say that was a beautiful thing that came out of that, because if that hadn't happened, we never would have met. You'd still be trudging around in the DMV area in Maryland, and driving around 50 miles one way or whatever. And
all I knew about Colorado is Mork and Mindy, Orange Crush soda. Joe Flacco went from the Ravens to the Broncos. And I got to tell you a funny story though, Jeff.
Mork and Mindy.
I had triple bypass open heart surgery.
Yeah.
I went from hospital to hospital. Nobody could help me. I finally went to Hopkins, and thank God for Johns Hopkins Hospital, or I wouldn't be here. They fixed me. But 3 days before the surgery, I get a phone call from Jennifer Garcia. She does Reiki. And she goes, hey, Mike, how you doing? I go, well, I'm having surgery in 3 days. She goes, we got a problem. I said, what's up? She goes, we can't meet anymore in my office. You got to be 6 feet apart because of COVID. I go, what are we going to do? She goes, we're going to go to Zoom. I go, Jen, I hate Zoom. She goes, you want to go back to selling copiers? I said, I love Zoom. Let's do it, baby. And that's how I made that decision, Jeff, in a millisecond. And or other organizations, and we won't mention them, they didn't know what to do. They were hybrid. They were half live, half Zoom. They waffled. I made a decision in a millisecond. And I'm proud of that decision.
Absolutely.
As a business owner, you got to make the hard decisions. And I made that decision, and I never looked back. Never looked back.
Quick decisions are king, man. You did a good job. I mean, no milling around. No, let me think about it. No. And I love what you said there, because I know there's a bunch of people out there that can relate to this. So there are people out there that what's the saying? I'd rather work 80 hours a week for myself than 40 hours a week for anybody else.
Amen.
All she had to do was say, well, you can always go back to selling copiers. You're like, I love Zoom. This is fantastic. So
exactly.
That tells me where your heart really is, man. It's business ownership, baby. And that's where most of these people are that are on these calls, by the way. If you're wondering, like, is NRG really a good thing? Or is just a bunch of like when I would go to Chamber of Commerce events, which are fun because they always had really good food, right? But you would show up and it wouldn't be the CEOs or the marketing directors or the owners. It would be the assistants and the like the people that didn't have anything better to do that day. And so the boss was like, you go. And so you didn't get anywhere with anybody. You got their card and then it just evaporated into thin air.
Jeff, you bring up a really good point, because when we met live, it used to be salespeople. And now you look around, it's mostly, I was telling Tanya about this, we've transitioned from sales folks to business owners that can get stuff done. Nothing wrong with sales folks.
No.
If they're going to come to my meeting, though, don't wait for the company to pay for it. Guess what? They're not paying for it like they used to. A few of them do, but most of them go, Mr. Salesperson, if you believe in it, you pay for it and write it off tax-wise.
That's right.
So that's a big transition, Jeff, too, from sales to business owners. Great point you just brought up. Great point.
Well, it's appealing that way too. Like that's why I don't always enjoy the other networking groups out there, because like there's one that I absolutely adore. We're going. It's every Friday morning at 7:30. Like it's in person. It's in Colorado Springs. It's in one of my favorite coffee shops, and the people there are amazing. I don't hardly get any business out of it, but they are such a wonderful group of people that we pray together, and we're, it's a very Jesus focused. It's a very, Christian-centric group. And so I love that part. So that's why Catherine and I still go on Friday mornings to that one. But there's different reasons for every group, but you got to choose why you're going and who you're going to send to that group, right? Like you said, the salespeople might not be the ones that need to come, because they can't make decisions in companies most of the time. It's the CEO, the COO, so that's why I love that it's transitioned to that. It's grown into something where it's mostly owners. So if that's what you guys are looking for out there, if you want to meet with a bunch of owners, come on.
And Jeff, if someone's in 8 groups, if they're in 8 different groups, I look at them and I go, are you getting ROI? You can sit around the coffee shop. You can love on each other. Yeah. That's beautiful. I've had, Dr. Roz has been in other groups and 98% of her business is coming out of NRG. Yep. So you got to make the hard decisions as a business owner. Where do you want to be? And I'll say to people, you might want to consider dropping some of the others because people come over to NRG, they get the ROI. You got to show up, though, too. There's some people that get the 30 referrals and then they think they're done. That's the beginning. Where did you go? I've had people say, I abandoned them. You've abandoned the NRG system. Are right. What are you doing? We're here. We're here to help you.
Or they misunderstand the process, right? So
exactly.
If you're going to a networking group and you're expecting that you're going to that you're going to get these 30 referrals or whatever, and all 30 of them are going to give you business firsthand right then on that call, you're doing it wrong. That's not how business works usually. And I've had a lot of people that have come on, not from NRG necessarily, but from they will remain nameless, the people that have done this, but they will come on and they will automatically, immediately on that first intro call, start pitching me on what they do. And there's a word for that. A good friend of mine that's been on the show, her name's Cheryl Devon. You can look back and watch her show. She was amazing. She came up with a term called pitch slapping. Don't pitch slap people.
I like it.
If you come on and all you do is talk about how you're going to sell me, that's called pitch slapping. Nobody likes that. Get the relationship. Like you said, you and Tanya were friends before you got married. Catherine and I knew each other. We were best friends when we got married. We knew each other for years. You've got to have that foundation of that you can trust each other, that you're friends. That there's at least a little bit of camaraderie there. You don't just come in and ask the person to marry you on the first date. So that's a good point. But I don't know. That's been the difference between NRG and a lot of groups too, because they want you to marry the person on the first date sometimes.
Yeah, it's got to be you court. You and Catherine courted each other.
Right.
I courted Tanya. And the same thing with NRG. When I do the 30 referrals, these are people that potentially could be a client, but the much bigger picture is power partners. How can you work together? How can you refer business back and forth? Because people, if I had to describe NRG in one word, Jeff, today it's a little tougher. I would say access, but then I would say family. Yep. I would say law of attraction. That's 3 words. It's morphed into multiple words. It used to be access, but and once in a blue moon, I'll get someone who pitch slaps. I love that. They pitch slap, and I will, in a fun, loving way that I can do it. And I got to learn how to do it. Say something nice. Yeah. Give them what the pitch slapping. Stop doing that, and this is why. And then end with something nice called sandwich.
That's right.
Sandwich. Good, the bad, and then good.
Yep.
Once in a while you run into it, someone doesn't understand. That's why we're doing the university. Yep. My goal is eventually people come in, they get the packet from Tanya, the 30 referrals from me, they start hitting meetings, and they start going through the videos, which will help them become a better networker.
Yeah, exactly. I love that, because some people just it's almost like an education. It's like you most people, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Don't feel bad, everybody.
Right.
If your whole experience in networking is that pitch slap experience, or the showing up and never getting a referral, or showing up and not getting to network because everybody scatters as soon as the meeting's over, right? And they're like, who can make it to their car first? Like, that's no fun. what are you even there for? So if you've been through enough of those groups and you've had enough and you want to come somewhere where actually you might actually get some referrals that mean something, this is like, just scan the QR code. It's the place to be. I know I say this a lot when you ask me to talk about NRG, Mike, but I'm going to say it here because I feel like I don't remember if I've said it yet, but Mike has ruined me for all other networking groups. Network Referral Group is the only place I want to hang out. I know sometimes I stray and I go to other groups once in a while, but I always
it's okay.
I always come back to NRG because every once in a while you got to learn. You know, it's like the dog trying to stray, and you got to pull the leash a little bit. Go, nope, this is where we're going. This is the place you need to be. So, but yeah, NRG, man, it's a special place. So. I mean, we got about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes left, and we're going to be wrapping up here. But is there any like testimonial or like any really cool like person that you've had come in over the last couple of years that have had? Oh, by the way, sorry, let me say this first real quick, and then maybe some stories of people that have come in and had some amazing testimonials. But I just want to point out real quick that at the beginning of the episode, you saw us said live from NRG Studios. That came from the relationship that Mike and I built over the last 2 years. I never would have guessed. I would have never dreamed that we would be able to do that. For him to sponsor my studio like that, there's like, who does that? Who would think that would be something when you first meet somebody? But and of course, I didn't ask him about that. I didn't know about it, so we didn't. That wasn't something that I asked him about the first minute we knew each other. It took time to build that. And so, but now, with Invisible Condition and with 6 Degrees of Impact launching soon, they will both be sponsored by NRG Studios. So this is stuff, you will find stuff in this group that you never saw coming. I never would have expected that. So it's really cool. So, all right, Mike, what do we got? We got a few minutes.
I'm going to talk about the extravaganza for a minute. Then I'm going to give a couple of testimonials. I'm going to give it in snippets. So it's really exciting that way. So the extravaganza is March 6th. You definitely want to come to that. You can register through the website. Tawana Lowry, she's done over $16,000, Jeff, since August. She's my keynote speaker. She helps companies stories sell. We're going to have sponsors. We still have a couple of openings. Reach out to me about that. 3 breakout rooms, a lot of NRG members and a lot of non. You want to meet these non-members as well. Testimonials. Lori Lundy, my director of networking. We've blown her business up. She has a foundation where she saves lives in the U.S., 6 countries, 26 waiting. I donate to her every month. She's the only charity I've ever done that with every single month. Leanne Cannon, she's my director of inspiration. She got an ROI on her NRG membership in 60 days, but it was really 50 because she had COVID and she was traveling. Dr. Roz, she's the director of, what is it? I just lost my train of thought. Love Inspiration. She's helping 8 billion people love 8 billion people. I love this woman. She is amazing. And that's a big part of NRG. Jeff Pearson. I'm going to do a testimony for Jeff. We got NRG Studios. We've created this great relationship, foundation, brotherhood, friendship, etc. Many years ago, I just thought of one, Jeff, I want to do. Yeah. We had a guy named Marlon in construction. He was green. I helped him get a $1.8 million deal or deals in a year. Leon Thomas, who I do a podcast with, he and I met. I drove him over to an account near BWI Airport. He closed the deal. It was about $275,000. Jeff, I could go on and on and on, but my voice is not going to go much longer.
No, you're good. You're good. We only have a couple minutes left anyway, man. Is there anything that you want to leave our audience with that, like, maybe, I don't know, we got like 2 or 3 minutes left. What do you want to leave everybody with?
I want to leave, Jeff, I want to thank you first of all for having me back. It's been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I got my voice together. One of my superpowers is empowering people. God did not create it. I'm going to be a little, you're Christian, I'm Jewish, but it's all the same.
I'm
going to be a little spiritual. God did not create junk. You got the power in you. If you're a business owner, we can help you double, triple, quadruple what you're doing. You got to show up. Networking, the word work is there. You're going to get to 30, but if you go away after that, you're leaving money on the table. If you're in sales, come out, but pay for the membership. Don't wait for the company to do it. They ain't, and I know ain't a word, but I'm going to say ain't anyway. They ain't doing it.
No.
Believe in yourself. You've got what it takes. We all do. I love doing motivational speaking, Jeff. That's one area I'm going to get more into.
Nice.
And like I said, there's some things Lori and I are working on that are explosive. They're going to be big. But I want every business owner to realize with Jeff and Mike and Lori, we can help you. We'll put our arms around you by Zoom, figuratively, and we'll help you get there. Don't let the news, stop watching the news. You don't need to watch it.
That's right.
Get positive, get upbeat. You know, my AKA is Mr. Network. You're going to hear that sometimes. Mr. Network. That's my superpower is empowering people. I've done it with thousands of people, Jeff. COVID hit so that Mike Weiner could go to Zoom, and it's been explosive. It's been real. I don't think we've scratched the surface of NRG. We should have 10,000 members. We're going to get there. Yeah. Jeff, you are the man. I love you, man. I consider you a close friend. We've never had bread together. We've never hugged each other. But we've done it on Zoom. It's the second best thing, and you are amazing at what you do. My diabetes, I'm going to kick it to the curb, taking a little longer than I want, but with Tanya's help, God's help, and everybody else, I'll get there. And Jeff, you're doing a great job. I love you, man. Love what you're doing. And we're here from NRG Studios. It's like Johnny Carson back in the day, right?
That's right, man. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. This is so cool.
I
wish we could do it more often, man. Maybe we got to do it. Maybe we should do it like once every 6 months or once a year or something, because we got to.
I'm up for it. I'll have new stuff for you too.
That's right. I know. In 6 months, you'll have plenty of new stuff. So thank you for being here, man. I love you too.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that God doesn't make mistakes. You're right, man. And one of them was connecting us. And I think that's
Amen. Thank you, God.
So thank you so much, man. Stick around. We'll chat afterwards, but thank you.
I will. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Awesome. God, I love that guy. Okay. I'm just going to leave this here because you should scan the QR code. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this one up too, because this is our nonprofit that I was going to talk about, but I didn't, because we were just rolling right along. So Hydro with Hope, if you would like to help us grow that nonprofit and help more people get this amazing journal into their hands and make life easier with that crazy condition called hydrocephalus, which I was born with, by the way. Scan the QR code, donate. You can even do it monthly. You can even donate monthly. It's pretty awesome. So thank you for that in advance. And thank you for watching wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you on the next show. The next show will air on, you know what? I don't remember. I'm not. Welcome to live TV, everybody. I forgot what day it is. But, we'll see you on the next one. Have an amazing day. And, talk to you soon.